In today's video, we're talking about something I see all the time in both my coaching clients and in everyday life, something called repetition compulsion. It's that frustrating loop where you keep finding yourself in the same types of relationships, jobs, conflict situations, even emotional states, over and over again. And if you've ever thought to yourself, why does this keep happening to me? Then this video is for you. Today, we're going to look at what repetition compulsion actually is, why we do it, including the evolutionary reason your brain thinks it's helping, some real-world personal and professional examples, and 5 practical strategies you can use to finally break the cycle. I'm Jo Banks. I've been a professional executive business coach for 16 years, and I'm sharing what I know. So, what is repetition compulsion? Repetition compulsion is a psychological phenomenon first identified by Sigmund Freud, where a person unconsciously repeats past experiences, especially those that were painful, confusing, or traumatic. The goal? On some level, the brain is trying to resolve or master the original situation. In other words, we repeat what hurt us, relationships, job roles, or even emotional states, not because we're foolish or broken, but because our brains are wired to seek familiarity and closure. But of course, this rarely works. Instead of healing, we end up re-traumatizing ourselves, reinforcing limiting beliefs, and staying stuck. Why do we do this? The evolutionary angle. From an evolutionary perspective, our brains are designed with survival, not happiness, as the primary goal. Here's how repetition compulsion fits into that. Number 1, familiarity equals safety. Our primitive brain prefers the known even if it's painful because it once helped us survive. Familiar patterns feel safer than venturing into the unknown, even when the known keeps us stuck or unhappy. And I've actually done a video on this. It's called Why We Stay Too Long, and I'll leave the link below. Number 2, the brain is a prediction machine. If something happened repeatedly in childhood, for example, being ignored, criticized, or even abandoned, the brain logs this as a template for how the world works. We then unconsciously seek out or recreate situations that match that template to maintain a sense of control and predictability. Number 3, completion instinct. We are driven to complete the loop, to go back into painful situations and try to change the outcome. It's like rewatching the same movie, hoping the ending will be different this time. Personal and professional examples. Let's first look at a personal example, a romantic relationship. Have you ever noticed someone repeatedly dating emotionally unavailable partners? Even if they're aware of the pattern, they may feel inexplicably drawn to people who evoke the same painful feelings. Why? Because on some level, they're trying to fix the original wound by getting a different result with a similar person. But instead of healing, they end up being re-traumatized. Let's look at a professional example. Workplace dynamics. Let's say someone had a critical or demanding parent. In adulthood, they may find themselves repeatedly drawn to managers or work environments that echo those dynamics. They might say, I don't know why I keep ending up in toxic workplaces, or I always end up with bosses who micromanage me. It feels like bad luck, but it's actually repetition compulsion at play. Until they become conscious of the pattern and take deliberate steps to choose differently, like building strong boundaries, they'll likely keep repeating the cycle. So here are my 5 strategies to break the cycle of repetition compulsion. Number 1, recognize the pattern. Awareness is something that I talk about so frequently. We can't change what we're not aware of. So start by saying to yourself, number one, what painful experiences from my past do I seem to be recreating? Number two, what types of people or dynamics am I repeatedly drawn to? Number three, where do I feel like I've been here before? Awareness is 80% of the work. Journaling, coaching, therapy can be really powerful tools to help you uncover hidden patterns because sometimes they're hard to pinpoint. If you find yourself saying, why does this keep happening to me? This is an area to dig into. My professional coaching tip on this one: patterns often reveal themselves in your emotional responses. If your reaction seems bigger than what the situation warrants, it might be a clue that you're reliving an old wound, and that's something you want to dig a bit deeper into. Number two, connect the dots to your past. Once you've recognized a pattern, ask yourself, number one, when do I remember first feeling this way? Number two, who from my past does this situation or person remind me of? Number three, what need went unmet back then in that first instance? This step really requires self-compassion. You're not doing life wrong. You're a human being wired to survive, doing the best you can with the templates you were given. When you can trace a present challenge back to its emotional origin, you take the power out of the unconscious and bring it into the light, where change becomes possible. Number three, challenge the narrative. Repetition compulsion is often fueled by a subconscious belief that goes something like, I'm only lovable if I prove my worth. Conflict means I'm being rejected. Conflict feels really unsafe. Success means I'll be alone. Only bad people make money. Once you identify the belief that's running the show, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this belief actually true? Where did it come from? What's a new belief I could choose instead? For example, I must earn love could become, I'm worthy of love without having to prove myself. These aren't just affirmations, they're neural rewrites. And over time, they can completely shift how you show up in the world. Number four, take a different action. Insight without action keeps you stuck. To break the cycle, you need to do something differently, even if it feels deeply uncomfortable. Some examples of this: if you usually stay silent in conflict, try speaking up, even a little. If you're drawn to critical bosses, seek out a work culture with supportive leadership, even if it feels boring at first. If you chase emotionally unavailable people, experiment with giving attention to someone who is steady and kind. Change often feels unsafe at first because the brain equates new with danger, but the discomfort is a sign that you're rewiring an old pattern. Number five, build a new template through safe relationships. Whether it's a coach, therapist, manager, friend, or partner, safe, consistent relationships help rewrite your internal templates. These connections show your nervous system that not all relationships end in abandonment, criticism, or rejection. When someone sees you, values you, and responds with care, especially when you expect them not to, it can be profoundly healing. Over time, this helps your brain learn that you can choose differently and still be safe. This is one of the reasons coaching and mentoring is so powerful. In a safe, non-judgmental space, people get to experiment with new ways of thinking, feeling, and being. The wrap-up. So often we beat ourselves up, repeating the same mistakes. I should know better. Why do I keep doing this? But repetition compulsion isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign that your brain is trying to protect you in the only way it knows how. By understanding why we repeat the past, we take the first and most powerful step towards lasting change. When we bring awareness to our patterns, compassion to our stories, and courage to our choices, we begin to rewrite a narrative, one that's not based on old wounds, but on conscious, empowered living. What next? If this resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever noticed repetitive patterns in your life? What's one small shift you could make to begin breaking the cycle? If you have anything you'd like to add to today's video or any topics you'd like me to cover in the future, please leave them in the comments section below. I read and respond to everything and really love interacting with you all. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to support the channel with a like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a thing. Finally, thank you to everybody who stays until the very end, and thank you so much for your support. It really does mean the absolute world to me.